You wake up on a hospital gurney, and the first thing you notice is that your hands don't feel like hands anymore. They feel like gravel. 20 minutes ago, you were Ben Grimm, decorated test pilot, college football star, the guy your best friend Reed Richards trusted to fly his experimental spaceship. Reed swore the shielding would hold. It didn't. A wall of cosmic radiation hit the ship in orbit, and now you're lying on a table while your skin hardens into something that looks less like a person and more like a pile of orange rock. Congratulations, you didn't ask for this. Nobody's going to ask if you want it back. The first hour. Reed gets elastic, Sue turns invisible, Johnny catches fire. All three of them can turn it off. They can walk into a grocery store tomorrow and nobody will scream. You can't. Whatever hit you didn't give you a power you wear. It gave you a body you're stuck inside. By the time the swelling stops, your skin has become a thick, lumpy orange hide that keeps getting harder over the following months, plate by plate, until you're basically wearing an exoskeleton made of stone. You didn't get a superpower, you got evicted from your own face. The first week. You look in a mirror for the first time and you don't recognize what's staring back. So you do what anyone would do, you name it. The Thing. Not exactly a compliment, more like a surrender. Here's the part nobody warns you about. You don't just look different. You are different, all the way down. In your new body, you have no good external ears. You've got 3 fingers and a thumb instead of 5. If you get hurt, you don't bleed. You chip, like a countertop taking a hit from a hammer, and you're never entirely sure if that hurts or if you've simply stopped being able to feel pain the normal way. Nobody's written a manual for that. You're the manual. The false hope cycle. Reed, being Reed, immediately starts working on a cure. And it works, sort of. He manages to turn you human again, for a few hours at a time. You get to feel the sun on skin again. You get to walk down a street without a kid crying and pointing. Then, without warning, it wears off. You're rock again. Reed tries again. It works again, it wears off again. This isn't a one-time thing. This becomes the shape of your entire life. Decades of being handed your humanity back just long enough to remember what you lost, then having it taken away again the second the world needs the thing, instead of Ben. Imagine being handed water when you're dying of thirst, but only ever a sip, over and over, for 60 years about. The woman who loves the monster. Eventually you fall in love with a woman named Alicia. She's a sculptor. She's blind. She's never once seen your face, the old one or the new one, and somehow that's the only relationship in your life where your rock skin has never mattered. So here's the twist that should break your heart. You find out, decades later, that part of the reason Reed's cures kept failing wasn't science, it was you. Somewhere in your own mind, you'd built a wall stopping yourself from turning human, because you were terrified that if you ever became a regular man again, Alicia, who only ever knew you as the monster, wouldn't love what was left. You spent years blaming your best friend for a curse you were partly building yourself. Don't feel too bad. You didn't know. That's kind of the whole tragedy about it. The betrayal. While you're off-world on a mission, unable to come home, Alicia starts seeing somebody else. Your own teammate, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. You come back to find your girlfriend and your best friend's little brother dating. And to make it worse, Reed had figured out you could have come home the whole time and never told you. You come home a monster to find out your life kept moving without you. And the one person who was supposed to help you get better hid it from you to spare your feelings. Nice guy, Reed. Terrible timing. The trials. Years later, you're stranded alone on an alien battlefield planet and something strange happens. You discover you can switch between human and thing at will here. No explanation, no warning, it just works. You stay for months. Then, without asking permission, the planet takes it back. You're trapped in thing form again, permanently, right as you're about to head home. The lesson repeats itself one more time. Any door back to being human eventually slams shut, and usually right when you get comfortable enough to walk through it. The part that's actually real. Here's the detail that should really mess with you. Somewhere on planet Earth, right now, there are people with a real medical condition, doctors nicknamed Stone Man Syndrome. It's called fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, FOP for short. In people who have it, any small injury, a bruise, a fall, even a flu shot, can trigger their soft tissue to slowly turn into a second skeleton. Muscles harden into bone. Doctors can't cut it out because surgery just triggers even more bone growth. Roughly 1 person in 2 million has it. There's no cure. Most patients don't make it past 40. You're not the only one trapped in stone. Somebody real somewhere is living your origin story without the cosmic rays, without the super strength, and without a team of friends to help carry the weight. The years pass. By now, decades have gone by, and here's the cruelest twist of all. While you're stuck in rock form, you stop aging almost entirely. You could conceivably live for centuries without your body ever wearing down. Sounds like a gift, right? Immortality? Except it's a life sentence with no release date. Every other curse in fiction eventually lifts. The werewolf changes back at dawn. The beast becomes the prince. The frog gets kissed. Yours doesn't come with a deadline. It just continues. The present. So here you are, decades into a body you never asked for, blamed a friend for a curse you partly built yourself, lost the love of your life to your own teammate, found her again, watched a planet hand you your humanity back and snatch it away, and discovered that somewhere out there your nightmare is somebody else's real diagnosis. And yet, you keep getting up. You keep fighting alongside the same team that watched you become this. You never fully become human again. You never fully stop being Ben either. Turns out the monster wasn't the tragedy. The tragedy was always just being trapped in a body nobody, not even you, knew how to let go of. Not bad for a guy who was just supposed to fly the ship.